Hello, everybody. Brian Cook here,
Hello, Brian Olson.
and we are the Brick Street Bryans. Man, episode 3 went from construction updates to some little minor things coming to we stayed at the Legoland Hotel. Wow, and we have a lot of information for you. This is our full comprehensive review, okay? The check-in process, the rooms we picked and chose, how they were, our hotel experience, the hotel activities, the surprise exclusive park access we got. This is everything that you can imagine that you wanted to know about Brick Street Bryans at the Legoland Hotel and Resort. And we will go over as much information as we can. Obviously, we can only speak to ourselves or for our own experience, but that is what we're going to do today in episode 3. Okay. So, Brian, what did you think?
We had an excellent time. It was a great time.
Yeah, it was awesome, right? I mean, our sons, I think, had an experience that they're never going to forget, and they
Yeah.
got to enjoy it together. Our wives were there with us, and we were there watching and experiences through Charlie, and just enjoying everything that the resort has to offer during off season. Right? We did get that exclusive park access, so that changed things a little bit, but we tried to go to as many itinerary based experiences and activities that the hotel had, and we can give you all of that feedback now. Okay, so uh, just remember the Legoland Hotel is only steps from the theme park entrance. Has over 250 rooms. I think the occupancy that day was about 200-ish people. Okay, so we're in. So when you see our pictures and stuff like that, you'll understand what we're talking about. And of course, it includes the free breakfast, which we'll go over. It has the nightly entertainment, the character meet and greets, which were everywhere, and all the in-room activities, which we'll also go into as well. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of go over that with you all. The first thing we're going to talk about is the registration process. Okay. Ours was a little bit different, just to let you guys know, because we booked within the 3-day window. So we got the registration, we got the check in, we got all that stuff all at the same time, which normally doesn't get done. So if you like book like a month or 2 or 3 or 6 months out or something like that, you're going to get a confirmation email. But 72 hours before, you're going to get the registration / check-in email where you're going to go in and finalize everything and check everything off and do all of that. So you get that QR code. And with that QR code is all the magic that's listed over here, right, Brian?
hmm
And I thought the check-in process was quick and painless. What did you think, Brian?
Yeah, it went really smoothly. From getting the email and actually clicking on register, filling in the little bit amount of information that you need to put in. As you can see, personal information, first name, last name, address, what country you're from, zip code, city, and state. The most important thing is also make sure that you put your phone number in and it is correct, because that phone number is what they're going to actually text you to let you know that your room is ready. And they're going to text the QR code. And if you don't want to use a QR code, you can use the special number that they give you in that text.
The
So,
confirmation number,
yeah,
yep. I think
make
it's like
sure
a
that
five-digit
you're,
code or something like that, right?
yep.
Might
So make
even be
sure
up
that's correct.
in that screen there somewhere. But yeah, so that's what you're gonna get. Okay. So that's what you're gonna want to definitely do, because that makes it fast and easy. You literally walk in, you scan it, and then all of a sudden a cute kid appears next to you waiting for your key. Right? And then the key just comes out of the machine right there. It prints out the little paper, and that's how you know what floor you're on and where your room is and everything like that. I mean, I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. Charlie was sitting there waiting for his key and waiting for it to pop out. And he was so excited. And then once you get the key, you can head up to your room, right? You can head over and see exactly what type of room you got. Brian and I got 2 different themes, so we can show you exactly what they look like. And then we can talk about them more. Okay. So, Brian, go ahead and start talking about yours first.
Yeah. So I stayed at the Kingdom Suite. The Kingdom Suite Sleep 7. It's fully themed as Lego Kingdom. So think of knights and castle style decorations and other various decor across the entire room. Um, it has a large bed. I would say it's almost like a the master bedroom, because it is a suite. So there is like a living room, kids room, and the master bedroom. So
And
as
it
you can
has a
see,
door. Yep, the
yep,
master bedroom has a door. Yep,
yep. So you could separate yourself from your kids if you need to.
definitely.
Here's the living room. So there's 2 seating chairs, a large sofa. Sofa does convert into a bed. It's got a pull-out bed. very comfortable. Like I said, the decorations are top notch. It does make you feel like you're in a in a castle. So uh,
And this
it's
picture doesn't do it justice. That
yeah,
TV is huge, right?
it is
That's like a
huge.
55-inch, 60-inch TV or something like that. It's huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very large room. Even, with people sitting on the couches and stuff, there's plenty of room to just, walk around, run around. I know my son was just running around just between the living room to his, children's room. He had a blast. And the bathroom, so each bathroom does have 2 sinks, standard toilet, and, a lot of mirrors, so you can, have multiple people getting ready if you need to, if you do have a large family. And a shower, the water pressure, the, softness of the water was actually really nice. It was actually a really great shower, and the cleanliness of the hotel, was top notch. I've been to many hotels in the past, a lot of ones around Disney and even out in Hollywood, and this doesn't even compare to the cleanliness is amazing. There was not one spot I could find anywhere that you'd say, okay, there's some maintenance issues or dirt or something like that or grime. It was
Yeah.
clean.
It was very clean. I agree 100%. Now let's focus on the important part. The dungeon. No, I'm just kidding.
So here's the children's section. So it's the two bunk beds and the trundle bed that pulls out underneath. And from the right hand side that you can't kind of see protruding out of the wall, there's a TV for the kids to watch while laying in bed, and there is a Lego textured wall. So there's a big pit of Lego right underneath the TV where kids can just grab different sizes, shapes, colors of Lego and just build something or put it up on the wall and make their own creations.
Yeah, I will tell you, my son Charlie hasn't used the regular Legos very much at all on Duplo, and this trip has trained him. He can grab the normal traditional Legos and just ding 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 stack them together and stack them together now and like make little things. So that's incredible. There's a little did you know later in the video that something I learned on the trip as well, which we'll go over. But he did very good on training on those Lego logos. Yeah, so which was great. All right, so now I'm going to discuss. Oh wait, go ahead and finish with this.
Oh yeah, so this is the other shot of the living room. So in this case for my room, I had a little frog over the treasure chest. So each room does have a treasure chest where you can do an activity that you can open up the treasure chest once you solve the clue, using the clues to figure out the lock for the treasure. And you can see there's places to put clothing. There's extra pillows, blankets, an ironing board, coffee maker, and a safe in the room, and obviously a desk to do, if you need to work or anything like that, with a built-in refrigerator underneath.
Yeah, it was perfect. I thought the whole setup. We'll go over some of the amenities in a little bit here, more in depth, but let me show you guys the room that I had. So, just like him, I've got the suite. I've got the pirate suite this time, though. So basically, Charlie was the captain. He was captain of the ship the entire time. And then the layout is identical, but the theming is completely different. I think that's what makes and sets this apart from other parks and locations and hotels. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's just like a hotel. It's like a normal place to like go." To the kids, like this is really immersive. You walk in and all the way from the floor to the ceiling is completely decked out, and it's very immersive. And we see little knickknacks here and there, and we're like, "Oh, that's like what." But it was awesome. Like I don't want to say Legoland awesome, but like, yeah, it was. It was like incredible. I think Charlie really enjoyed it. He loved it. As soon as we told him there was a possibility that we'd have a pirates room, that's what all he was all about. Pirates, 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 pirates. It was a little bit funny because I personally liked Brian's room a little bit better, and then Brian personally liked my room a little bit better. But of course, our kids were gonna fight for both of them or either one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, but the layouts are the exact same. Huge bed, huge little pirate area thing. The theming was obviously different. It was to pirates, and then the models in the room were obviously different as well. Huge living room once again with the same desk and the setup, and there was a monkey on top of the safe. I have a feeling that monkey had a lot of mischief to do with why my issue with the treasure hunt was a little bit like it was, which we'll explain later. But I'm thinking there was a little bit of monkey business from that monkey there that was causing that. But we'll go over everything that we found out about that and the differences when you have a suite and non-suite and stuff like that, and some of the verbiage, I think. But other than that, it's the exact same. You got the kids area, like you said, with the Lego area that you could build. You've got the two bunk beds with the trundle bed underneath. The carpet's completely themed. The bathroom was gorgeous. I think you said you really enjoyed the shower. Did you say that when you were going over your review? I don't remember.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I noticed, I'm not from Goshen, and I know you're from that area up there, but the water was very mineral based water. So when you're taking a shower, like the sensories start coming out. But the shower head was amazing. It was like it had a little switch where you could switch like the different. It was fully. You could take it off. You could put it on. It goes up or down. You could adjust the water if you wanted it hotter than hot. If you wanted it a little bit warm. Everything like that. Besides that huge black widow spider that's 2 feet away while you're taking a shower, um, it was great. I thought it was awesome. And same thing. So we'll go over some of the amenities real quick. I know Brian kind of covered it. You can see in here they've got the hangers, they've got the extra bed pillow, and blankets up there. You've got your ironing board and iron, the safe. Obviously, underneath you can kind of see there's a hair dryer. And then what I thought was really cool is they include these Keurig coffees, Keurig hot chocolates, Dasani waters, the Honest juices, all for free inside the rooms. And then for only $5, if you wanted to get those refilled, you could get them refilled. Now, because we're in a suite, they're expecting more occupancy, so we have 4 of everything. In the regular rooms, I believe it's 2 of everything, but it's still only $5 to get all that replaced in a regular room too, which I thought was fantastic. Some of the other amenities, I think, Brian, I don't know if we went over them yet, but the Google service there that's going for you right inside the room, which is really cool and great. And then the refrigerator. That was the only kind of con I had with the entire room. The refrigerator I thought was pretty small. We had difficulty, like, when you're putting in your to-go containers, normal size to-go containers, you got to like kind of put them and stack them and then like kind of close the door at the same time. We had Charlie's milk and a couple other things in there as well. I know the can holder is a little bit odd or different, right? Try to put stuff in there,
Yeah,
but
because
they are very small mini refrigerators.
yeah,
So, but it's great that they have them. Yeah,
yeah, because you think those bottle holders are meant like the Dasani water. The first thing I did was take all 4 of them and put them on the bottle holder, and then tried to close the door, and it did not close. And then once we started having leftovers from the restaurant and trying to put them in the fridge, things wouldn't close. So you really have to kind of think about what you're actually going to need to refrigerate, and plan ahead for that, because there isn't a lot of room, enough room to like whatever what we had fit in the fridge. But if you have like
yeah.
more kids and more like specific food needs and stuff like that that needs to be
Maybe
refrigerated.
bring like a separate cooler of some kind because
Yeah.
the ice is provided. You can get the ice. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you want to talk about the ice
Yeah.
holder?
So as you can see there, we have the Lego models. So there's a sign in the room that talks about different types of models in the room, and what the value is. So, not ranging between 90 and $960. Make sure that you do, when you get into your room, make sure that those models are not damaged. Obviously, like they say, they take great care in making sure that models aren't missing or damaged or anything like that. Because when you do check in, they are charging your card for incidents, if
Yeah.
if they find something that you destroyed or damaged, be it.
Yeah, both of those were based off of human behavior,
Yeah,
right? So some of the models were getting destroyed, so they had to like specificate, hey, this takes a long time to build, so don't damage them. And
yeah,
then the ice thing, right? They used to have the little Lego heads kind of like behind your head there, but
yeah,
smaller that were for the Lego. And people were taking them even when they were telling them, like, you will be charged for this. And then they were having supply issues, like normal stuff going on in the world today. So it's all based off of human behavior. But um, just be nice and kind to the models, just appreciate the builds, appreciate the time that it took. Imagine there's 250 rooms, right? Not all of the rooms have the exact same models, not all the rooms have as many models, but there's 20 suites that have at least that amount of models in each one. And just thinking of that, and then all the models in the regular rooms and the standard rooms and the premium rooms and all that is just too much for my brain to comprehend. And it's all based on human behavior, like I said. And then they've got the normal body wash, shampoo, conditioner. My wife loved the little bar of soap that was like brick style, right? Which was really cool, and everything like that. So, Brian, go ahead and talk about some of the other amenities inside the room. I know this thing scrolling with you've got air conditioner and comfort. We didn't touch the thermostat at all the entire visit. We thought it was perfect.
yeah. The temperature was perfect. I think mine was set to 70.
I didn't even look at mine.
Yeah,
I didn't even have to look at it to see if it's too hot or too cold, or it was perfect. The bed, we're gonna find out who makes that bed because we need a new bed. And that bed was glorious. I heard that from everybody else that's already stayed there. Obviously, we'll get a bigger one. I think that's like a king. Wasn't it a king? Yeah, it was a king. But we'll get like a California king if they make it from that company or whatever. But it was really comfortable. Yeah. So, and then we're gonna go into next the Notorious after you go over the movies real quick. We'll go into that.
Yeah, so each TV does have like what you consider for from a themed hotel. So you have the main menu where it shows you you're staying at the Legoland Hotel, where it shows if you go to weather, there's a button for weather, and it shows you the local weather for Goshen. It also shows you the weather for the rest of the week. It also has a TV guide, so I think it's probably Spectrum, you know, cable, so you can go down and go through all the local channels and stuff. But they also have all the Lego movies, so Lego Movie 2, the Lego Batman movie, and the Ninjago movie. Those are always on. So if you want to
Yeah.
watch Lego movie and you finish it and you're like, well, I want to watch it again, just go back and press it to play again. It's all the Lego movies are on demand. So and that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, Charlie loved it. Absolutely loved it. He was sitting there in the morning, one morning, just watching the movies, just kind of hanging out, building traditional bricks. So, like I said, he got trained in this trip to build with those traditional blocks because all he was used to before was we gave him Duplos, right? We gave him the bigger ones, the more tactile ones. So now that he can use those smaller ones, it's much better. It's awesome.
And
All
the
right.
TVs also do have sleep timers and alarms, so you can
Oh
set
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And we're gonna make a separate video, I think, on like the Google thing to like kind of show what you can and can't do with that. I'll make like a little mini video so we don't have to go over that too much. But yeah, you can even set like Lego alarms and all kinds of cool stuff on that. So now we're gonna go to the I don't want to say the elephant in the room, but the lock in the room, the literal lock in the room. Okay. On the group, people are always complaining the lock's not working. I need help with the lock. And then as soon as they need help or anything, Brian Olson comes in and is like, "We ain't helping you. Get out of here. Delete." No. Uh, and then I'm like, "What? How are they having trouble with the room?" Like I've seen videos of like how it works. Like you can't. And then I'm in there doing my little thing, going by my little chart here of how to do the lock, and I can't figure it out.
Yep,
Brian got his like that,
I got
and
a
I'm
text
sitting
from
here
Brian.
going through the count. I have Charlie going around, running around the room, finding out how many skulls are on the bed, finding out the gold coins, how many of this, how many of that, for the life of me. So, a few things we found out. The the wording on this changes, as you can see. Sometimes they say only on the carpet, sometimes they say not on the carpet. How many things are in the room? So it's in the total room. Now, from my perspective, it was only what was in the kids' room, the hallway that leads to the master bedroom, and then the master bedroom. It didn't include anything that was inside the living room because we had difficulty with the Lego coins because we had extra coins because there were some in the living room that we counted and it wasn't working. So even if we got the code right, it still wasn't going to open correctly because I was doing this part wrong. I was doing it from the right to the left, thinking that the numbers kind of have to be right side up as you put them in down the line of the numbers. So let's say if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to the far right would be one, and then all the way to the far left would be four. And I was doing that wrong. And then I had difficulty figuring out where you line up the numbers because I couldn't see those little grooves. If you see the grooves in the center there, they should put some white out in there so that it's illuminated a little bit better because it was dark even with the window open, right, Brian? It was dark in there. Like
Yeah.
I had to put my phone down there with the flash in order to see even those little grooves. But once he did that, and then Brian came in and said I was doing the numbers backwards. And then we called downstairs saying that there's extra coins in one room and there's a key on the wall. And do we count that or not, even though it says the carpet? Sometimes things say the carpet. It was fun regardless and hilarious because Brian had to come in and rescue. And then we texted and they helped us out just like everybody else on the group. So, but it was fantastic once we got it open because we got our prizes, right? There they are. So ours, I know this changes, so it's not the same all the time. I think they rotate kind of stuff. But we got that magazine, which has the ability to get the free app with it that you can get all the time, and then you get the free magazine as well. And there was two sets of each of these in there. So even though we only have one son, he got two of the what is it, ladybug or a dragonfly? What is that thing, Brian?
Looks like maybe a snail.
It has wings in a picture, so
Well, it's
it
Lego.
looks just like a snail that can fly and ride a skateboard.
it's creative, so it
Yeah,
could
it
be
is because
Snell
you
or
could adapt
Ladybug.
it to however you want. Typical Lego, right? So, yeah, fantastic. So that is the prize that you get when you do solve everything and figure it out. And we just wanted to go over some of the in-room prizes that you get, or not prizes, they're gifts. They're not really prizes because you don't have to do anything. But on the bunk beds, we got these. So on each bunk bed, there was a minifigure where you could get any of those minifigures, right? Brian, you know more of this than I do, so you can like talk about the rare ones. But our favorite was that watermelon one.
Yeah, so we on each bunk bed was a little pack of the mystery mini figures, and this one was for Lego Movie 2, which actually have been out of circulation for a while now. So it's pretty impressive to see the Lego Movie 2 minifigs. I received two of the girl singers, the cat one, and the one with the, I guess, hula skirt. But, I think Brian got the watermelon one, and he also received the one with, like, the hula skirt. So, uh, out of 4 minifigures, there was doubles for for us too, so
Yeah, and the
pretty cool.
minifigures were the gifts. I think they even say that when you check in, you're gonna get gifts, right? So we had that. There was a couple other things we found laying around that were gifts as well. We'll go over that, I think, a little bit later. But um so the minifigures, right? We went over the treasure. I think we did go over everything. Okay, good. All right. So now we're gonna talk about the hotel lobby, actually. So we're gonna go into the atmosphere of the hotel lobby and talk about that a little bit because whoo, man, because, we checked in on Sunday, got there early enough, we saw the crowd from Saturday. They had a big crowd on Saturday. They adapted the shows for the big crowd I heard the night before, and they did, like, mirrored it and did 2 different things and spread people out in the lobby and all of that, but the lobby atmosphere is the most entertaining thing ever, like, at any given time. We'll talk about some of the builds we saw, some of the things people were making, just watching people. Obviously, our kids just loved running around and jumping through the things and making things and doing all that kind of stuff, which is, typically. But they had a blast just exploring the resort, the hotel, just walking around. They were messing around in the arcade, right? Playing some games. You've got the ship there for them with the castle and the slide. They love going down that. If you don't know, if you're on the friends floor, which is I think is floor 2, that was the floor you were on, right, Brian?
Yep. Mhm.
There's the windows that you can look down into the lobby. So, the kids, that was a great picture of them looking down in the lobby to all the kids playing down there, right? Because we were, like, looking at the different themes and the different rooms and all the hallways and all that kinda stuff. I think that's when we came to take a look at your room, but, um, it's awesome. It just to explore. I was most amazed, Brian, you probably were too, at the builds people were doing, right?
Oh, yeah, and we're just being sitting in the lobby watching, some of the kids were coming up with the craziest, designs and creations out of the Lego that they find, within the play area of the lobby. But then
And
you
I had a
also
major Yeah, go ahead, sorry, I
yeah,
cut you off there.
you also have the parents who are sitting there creating, like, things that I wouldn't even have thought of. It's
Yeah.
actually amazing watching that, and, like, since we were there for, one the day before and even checking out, the same families were there building more, building different things, and or adding on to the
Yeah.
build that they built the day before. It was actually really cool to see.
It was amazing, and I had the biggest epiphany ever. Let me show you that before I go on to the Lego build, because I did not know. Brian knew this because he's a huge Lego guy. I did not know that the regular traditional Lego size Legos can go on Duplo. This whole time as a father, I'm thinking I'm investing all this money on Duplo, right? Because Charlie's young and they're bigger and they're cooler and he likes them better and all that. Uh, and then I realized you can put the traditional ones on the Duplos and expand. I don't have to, like, give these to anybody. I can keep them forever. Yeah. So that was huge. And then just these Lego builds, right? So obviously our kids are building these little things, little spaceships, and I built like a caterpillar thing out of the Duplos and all this kind of stuff. And then out of the blue, we see people building these massive swords, right? Brian, you could talk about this. This thing is massive.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy too, and then, as you can see in the one picture, they built the sword and they put it in the mermaid's hands, and it fit perfectly, and
Yeah, he
yeah.
literally could have let this go, and it would have stayed in they made it so I think the kids started it, and then the kids were finding pieces, and the dad helped along, and they kinda modified it, and the kid that like, those kids knew how to build, like, all these different, like, we came in the morning. I'll show you that next one, but we came and they were building a whole different one. Like, it was amazing to see what the guests. That was the next morning. That same family building, and so we saw them building the like Ninjago, device thing, sword thing. But then they build a holder for it. And the other sword, the front desk actually put right on top of the front desk for them. I told them, like, you guys got to get a spot for this in the creative workshop. Like, these are awesome. And him and his buddy were there and his little sister, and they were finding the pieces and building. We saw a guy building a huge tower thing as well. I mean, this one little kid, remember, was building like a building that looked like the Taj
Oh
Mahal.
yeah.
It was like, and he was like a 7-year-old or something, like even less actually. He's probably, somewhere between 3 and 5, I'm guessing, right? And it was amazing to see, but the atmosphere down in the hotel is great. You can also go into the little big shop, okay, and do some things there too. So we have some pictures of the minifigure build where you can, and this is where I think one of the most inexpensive ways to get minifigures. Brian, would you agree?
Oh yeah, for 12.99, you're getting 3 minifigures that you're building yourself. So, on average, 4.99 is what the minifigure blind packs are. The ones that you don't know what you're getting in there. And right now it's series 22, which has like the Pepper Girl
I'm
and
just gonna nod. I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay, yeah,
but those you never know what you're gonna get. You can buy like 15 packs and spend well over $100 and get maybe doubles and ones that you don't want. Here you
yeah.
can
This
build
is great.
Yeah. Here you can build whatever minifigure you want. There's hundreds of different style heads, bodies, legs, accessories, and for you could build 3 of them, and for 3 of them in a special plastic, like a blister pack, 12.99. I mean, and with a, annual pass discount with 10%, it's even cheaper. So it's actually fantastic. If you're doing like Lego stop animation or you're doing anything that, you need a lot of Lego minifigures, this is the best place for the values. You can make your own, and it's only 12.99.
Yeah, and you really got to like play your game plan here too, because it's like a catch 22. You get to build your own custom minifigure for 12.99. You get 3 of them, and then you want to keep it, right? You don't want to go to the trading, so you have to have a game plan. Like, okay, maybe I'll build one that I really really like, and then I'll just build 2, and then I'll go trade those 2, or like vice versa. Maybe I'll build 2 that I like, and I'll build one to trade with because that's fun. And they have a trading spot right there inside the little big shop, so you're gonna want to do that.
And
Yeah.
the themes always change too. So during I know we discussed this, back when we did minifigure mayhem and Brick or Treat, but during Brick or Treat, they did have some Halloween style minifigures that you could build. As you can see in this picture, the accessories were snakes. I think that one there was uh, different types of hats, and I think one of the hats was a shark. So the theming does change, and the little accessories, hats, they do change it once in a while. So just keep an eye out for that.
All right. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Here we go. We are in the nitty gritty now. The nighttime shows. These were our 2 sons kind of hanging out. By the way, the kid right there to the left of Charlie was the kid that built that huge Taj Mahal. He was building
Yeah.
all kinds of crazy stuff the whole time, and he's young, very young. But Charlie loved the dance party. He was up there the whole time, doing whatever the guy showed him to do or told him to do. I know you went live at one point a couple of times during both the dance party and the and everybody loved it. There was some guy in your video. I don't know if you saw that or not, but like, I don't know, some guy got up and like, yeah. So, but the dance party and story time were awesome, right? So let me go show you the other picture here. You could talk about what you thought, Brian.
Yeah, so for our kids loved it. So they went through a Lego themed storybook. I think there was 2 of them. But before that they also did the dance party. So it was quick movement, jumping around, doing things, and they also had like a wind down activity where it was more like maybe not yoga poses, but like stretches and just with quieter music to kind of get the kids calm. Um, Personally, I think that they could just change this up slightly. I think both stories were read back to back, and in a 3-year-old's attention span,
What?
um,
What? 3-year old?
yeah, it's with a 3-year-old attention span, it was kind of they were losing it by the start of the second book. So I think maybe having a dance party, reading a book, and then maybe having the stretching in between or the wind down and then read the second book might have a little bit of better um, attention for the kids. Because even just watch the live that I posted on Sunday night. It's there. You can probably see the kids kind of just looking around and doing things else, doing other things and paying attention. So that's just my view on that. But it was still really great for 3 year olds, and all the kids in there did have a great time. So
Perfect, perfect. All right. So we did get a chance to go Friday when the sleepover series was going on. So we have some sleepover stuff to give you. Now remember, our stay was non-sleepover series. It was not sleepover series. Dinner was not included or anything like that. We'll discuss a little bit more about food and beverage options when we get down to that, but it was not sleepover series. So they didn't have any of the ninja characters were out, I think, out and about, but they didn't have to be ninja specific, right? They were just other characters and stuff like that. Meet and greets, and then they had the creative workshop stations. They had the Milo's journey, which was like you made a rover and then you interacted with it with an iPad and stuff like that. And they had all kinds of creative workshops going on, but none of it was sleepover series specific. So none of it was related to Ninjago or anything like that, but specifically. But they did, however, before have that, and we just want to go over that because there's one more weekend that's Ninjago, and we want to show you guys some stuff that you can kind of expect. So uh, there we go. I mean, that's Brian and I with the ninja. Brian's milking a cow apparently, but I have my Lego arms or hands, right? It's a good time. We saw all the kids enjoying it. They were loving it. They set it up to where you're like on a journey basically, right? So here is kind of what you start with, and you go over to this activity center that they have there, and you pick this random pouch that's sealed, so you can't see what's in it, and then you're given this element, and then your entire stay is based off of you in this element, right? It becomes you in your element. And then they match that up with the head wear that you're going to be wearing. Okay. They give you a commemorative brick. Okay. That we saw there as well. And then you're given this task card. And during your stay at all the different events, you get that task card filled out. And at the end, you get a diploma. I should have put a picture here of the diploma that you get, but we weren't there for the sleepover series, so we didn't get them. But we saw people getting them, hang out. And Master Wu gives you your diploma at the end. You get a picture with him. And that's what's being shown there. So all the sleepover series are like that. They have this like theme and activity and built everything is around this experience that you're doing as you're there, and all the kind of events and everything are planned around it. Brian, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, and then also, as some people have posted too, is that during the Ninjago Stay sleepover series, you did have access to the Ninjago the ride. So, weather permitting, obviously, and they did bring people down to the park and walk you over to Ninjago. And anyone who has been to the park, that's a pretty good walk, and you get to experience the park, you know, from just walking around and walking to Ninjago. Nothing else was open, but you got to ride Ninjago. So I think that was a cool surprise for everyone that they were able to do that.
Yeah, I think they're doing anything beneficial that they can for the guests. So they're doing it twofold. They're training their employees at the same time because they know they have lots of new employees that they need to get and hire and train and get them ready. And then they know they have guests that are going to want to experience these, right? So they're going to open up as much as possible as they can. Obviously, Ninjago was a surprise and was based off of the Ninjago sleepover series. So that was great. But we got the surprise of the exclusive park access as well. So that was one of the things that made us pick and choose, right? And do it and everything like that. Uh, when we did it, we didn't know exactly what was going to be guaranteed because you're not guaranteed at any particular time. But we did get that exclusive park access. So this was us walking down right on the first day, right at 11 o'clock. So it was 11 to 2
Mhm.
was our ability to get up there and see everything. And it was cold that day. This was Sunday.
Yeah,
Cold, cold,
we went to the park
brisk.
the day it closed, and people who probably stayed over for the Christmas sleepover when they had access to the park probably were much colder than we were on the last day back on November 28th. But on Sunday, it had to be 10 degrees and, with a wind chill of like 4. It was freezing cold. By the time that we were done, I don't think I could actually feel my chin or fingers.
Yeah, and all of this is going to change, so don't take our word for it. They're going to open as much stuff as they can, weather permitting. Obviously, if there's a storm coming in, then less stuff's going to be open. If they don't have the staff, less stuff's going to be open. If they're training differently, maybe they're training back end or something like that, it's going to be open differently. So they're going to do their best, though. They are really good at that, is trying to make it as best possible experience for the guests as they can.
Yeah.
Um, we did notice that there were new little metal detector machines, right? They didn't have the big square things you walk through. They just had poles, and they were checking everybody as usual and stuff like that. But we're not sure exactly how that's going to be modified or changed. They had that big sign out that says, "Hey, get ready," and I noticed last year at the end too, they had a cast member, a model citizen out there, explaining to everybody, okay, go over here if you have strollers. Don't go over here if you don't have strollers. Go here if you have bags. Go over here if you don't have bags. Like they're really good at that, I think, now, kind of picking up how they can make it as fast as possible for everybody. But we're going to talk about the exclusive park access that we were able to enjoy. Uh, even both Sunday and Saturday, Sunday and Monday. Yes, right?
Sunday, Monday.
Sunday and
Yep.
Monday. They're open President's Day, so Monday through Thursday, hopefully this will apply. And then Sleepover Series, they're going to go back to the Sleepover Series ride and attraction Ninjago. So, but the carousel was open. So both days, Sunday and Monday, the carousel was open. They still have the covering on the disco area, so that was not open, but the train was open, which was Charlie's favorite. Now he has a new favorite. I don't know if that was because Connor has converted him over to the factory ride, but that is his new favorite, which was also open, and the boys absolutely love that. There are some weirdos riding this one. There's like a dragon, Indiana Jones, a jester, green ninja, a red astronaut, and then a test dummy apparently rode with us in the back. Poor Connor back there, right? Yeah. So we had fun. Factory ride's one of your favorite rides, right, Brian?
Yeah, Factory Ride's a really, really fun ride. That's probably one of my favorites besides the Dragon Coaster.
Yeah, and also build and test was open. Okay, so Ninjago was open both days, but Jay's Gravity Force was not open on Monday. So just to let you guys know. And then what else? So build and test. The kids went in there, and that's a nice warm place, especially on Sunday. That was necessary. That's where we went to survive in between rides. And the whole thing was open, which was great. Creative Workshop down there was not open, just to let you guys know. So that obviously may change in the future, but I don't know. And then Brian, talk about what we'll talk about the mayor here first, Lenore. We both got to enjoy and see her again, right? We were excited. And then you can go ahead and talk about what was in the mouth of this thing.
Yeah, so Smokey's Barbecue was open. They did have a limited selection of snacks. So inside Smokey's, you can get popcorn, select bags of chips, bottled soda, and different types of candy. So they had and then also um, the Jack Link's teriyaki beef jerky. So and coffee. So on that cold day, that coffee probably would have saved a lot of people. But yeah, those are the kind of offerings that they have at Smokies. And you can sit down, warm up. Um, if you had any snacks or anything like that, you could have ate it there or whatever. But there's a kind of a place that we hung out and just kind of get our bearings of where we're gonna go to next. But it was available, so that's
Yep.
great.
The park on the first day was a little bit empty because it was so cold, but there were a lot more people on the second day, right?
Hmm.
There was definitely a bigger crowd because everybody was going down there because it's much warmer. The kids obviously loved going on the carousel again. That was open again. The Duplo train was open again. Ninjago. I finally got up on the leaderboard. I'm slot number 2 right there. You can't tell it's me, but Brian will vouch. That is me right there in slot number 2, 146,500. And that's without one of the rooms working. So if one of those rooms was working, I would have took first place. Yeah. But our boys loved and this before Charlie didn't really like Ninjago, and now he loves it. So it's like a whole nother ride that we can experience together, which I thought was great. So, but now we're gonna go into the food offerings. I think we're gonna discuss, what's available there for food offerings, which is one of our favorites. So let's talk about, I guess, breakfast first. So let's go ahead and show that, and I'll get the information up for that. There you go. Um, I think it's a great breakfast offering. Brian and I have tried this breakfast offering twice now, and it's changed. It's adapted. They will change and modify to feedback accordingly to anybody's flavor and everything like that. So it's a lot of different options, Brian. Don't you think it's a lot of different options that you could choose from?
Yeah, and when people say like it's a hotel breakfast or like continental breakfast or something like that, this is not your Holiday Inn,
No.
breakfast. It's not your random toast that you could throw in a microwave or a hard boiled egg. This is eggs, crispy bacon, sausage, home fries, fruits, everything you think of, oatmeal. They do have the cereal. There's a lot of different offerings for all anyone's types of breakfast needs. The waffles are awesome, and they have a whole toppings area where you could add marshmallows, crushed cookies, Fruit Loops, not Fruit Loops, but different types of cereals that you just dump on your
Yep.
waffles with whipped cream and syrup and stuff. So there's a lot of different options.
And they're like planning on expanding and doing all kinds of cool stuff in the future. So I know, just keep an eye on that because it's ever changing and they're listening to feedback, and they're going to do whatever they can to help the guests even better. And the quality was fantastic. The proteins, the eggs, the sausage, the meats, the danishes, like everything, the fruit. I thought everything was good quality. Some people complain, or they say like, oh, it's very basic, and it used to not be. It used to be cheesy eggs and casseroles and potatoes with peppers and all this. And they got feedback that said, people don't like necessarily the potatoes with this or that. And now you can do whatever you want. I mean, they had fresh croissants there. So I could have cut open the croissant and made like a breakfast sandwich. I could have put the scrambled eggs in there and the bacon or even the sausage and little add a bit of Frank's hot sauce or maybe some ketchup or like anything like that. They've modified it so, and the bagels with the cream cheese, and you said the waffle bar, right? And the kids are going and getting these crazy creations of sugar concoctions at 8 o'clock in the morning, right? So that is one thing we did want to discuss. Okay. Even we listed it down below here. Please note reservations are strongly recommended for all dining. Okay. Breakfast starts and has the seating that's the 7, 8, and the 9 o'clock. Okay. And ends at 10. Don't get there at 9:50. Uh, it gets busier as it goes later. Usually in the morning, it's nice and quiet. They have one line open, and you just grab your stuff and you sit down like we did, at 8 o'clock or wherever we got there. Um, and then it gets busier. You can see the line gets busier, and then at a certain point, they open the other side too. So it's like two different lines going at the same time. But it just people are procrastinating. They're just waiting or sleeping in or anything like that. So do them a favor, book a reservation regardless of what time you think you're going to go. That way, kind of helps them out to plan accordingly. Do that. Definitely do that for dinner. Okay, we'll talk about the dinner offerings here in a second, and then uh, try to get there. Right? And try to get there early. Get there, get the food, go back up to your room, hang out, watch a movie or something like that. But try to get down there and spread it out so they're not getting 150 guests at 9:30. Do yourself a favor, and it will help them as well, because I know that they would really appreciate that. And I think it just helps. And like you said, I think there's one more slide here with the cereal and the options and stuff like that. There's a juice bar. You can get apple juice, orange juice, coffee. They have the freestyle machine there and everything like that. Operational. They had milk there and everything, but I just didn't get a picture of that. So, but now we're going to discuss lunch and dinner options. This was a little bit different for Sunday night, and then they listened to everybody's feedback and they adapted to it very quickly, and made the decision that this will be for dinner and lunch if it's not sleepover. Okay, so if it's not sleepover series, here's what they're going to go with, and this is our favorite because these have our highlight favorite items on the menu that you have the options for. So, Skyline Bar and Cafe's menu will be offered for dinner, non-sleepover series, remember. So if you're there for the sleepover series, you're going to expect that sleepover buffet included in your stay. But this is, once again, we were not sleepover, and that's all the way to this Thursday night. Okay. So here are the menus and some of the options that you can choose. Our charcuterie board is like amazing, outstanding, right? You can see all the selections. Some of them are local, some of them are well known. Brian's had the fried mac and cheese before. I've had the spinach artichoke dip before. Neither of us had a flatbread. We got a flatbread pizza, pepperoni. Just look at it. It tastes better than it looks. Can you believe
Yeah,
that? I mean,
it's really good.
yeah, the solids. My wife got the signature house salad with chicken on top. She absolutely loved it. It came with like a vinaigrette already made, pre-mixed. Your wife had a chicken sandwich, right? And then they have their classic Caesar salad that they're known for, which is outstanding and fantastic. Okay. And then here we go, right? I can't say enough about this grass-fed burger, the Hudson Valley burger. We
Yeah,
have
so
been told, and I will tell you, there are some new food and beverage options going in at the hotel and at the park this season that are awesome. Legoland awesome. Lego awesome. Just fantastic. Okay. Uh, we will release that information very shortly. We're going to make a video because it's so much to go over. that will just be on all the new stuff that's coming out and exciting operation stuff that's moving on. And I mean, come on, the Hudson burger with the pork belly and just the cheddar and the grass fed. It's our number one. We had to go there on Friday just to get that burger again because it was so good. And they
Yeah.
have a new one coming out that's I think is even better. Brian will stick with his Hudson Valley burger, and we'll explain why in that video. But it is still the grass fed burger, and it is fantastic. It is different than the kids' cheeseburger. So if you want to get the kids a better, higher quality burger than the kids' cheeseburger, my kid would just want the cheeseburger because that's what he's used to and the flavor and everything. But even if you don't like everything that comes on that Hudson Valley burger, just get the Hudson Valley grass fed burger and have them take off, whatever options you don't want. Maybe you don't want the cheese or the chutney or something or the aioli. So, and then it comes with those French fries. We didn't even discuss that in the other picture, but whoo, those French fries, man.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm gonna say too about the Hudson burger. So I'm a burger kind of guy. I like to get burgers at many different types of restaurants. And like I told Brian, the Hudson burger is the best burger I have ever eaten out of any restaurant across the country, anywhere. It is that good. And you say, well, it's $21, blah, blah, blah. The pork, the pork belly on it, the beef, everything on it, that burger is just perfect. And the flavor signatures of it, it's out of this world. It's gonna be the best burger you ever eaten. And to say that's from a theme park, yeah, it's a hotel, Legoland Hotel. That's where it is. But to say that it's absolutely amazing. So definitely go out and
Yep.
try the burger.
And the chicken tenders and French fries, we've really got to find out their distributor and exactly how to get it because they are great. I
Yeah.
mean, just amazing. Even for, I mean, adults can order the chicken fingers and French fries and be more than satisfied. But, for the kids, they also have the 4 cheese mac. It's, the mac and cheese. They have the buttered pasta in case your kids want to get buttered pasta instead. And then the giant fudge brownie sundae, which we got for at our nighttime, and we got the chocolate cake, which I think is superior. But both options are fantastic options for you to get. So those are the options for non-sleepover series. You can order anything off the Skyline bar. They have all the drinks, they have all the mocktails, they have all the other items as well that you can order. But those are the options for both lunch and dinner as of now. So, and I think they're great, fantastic options.
Yeah, and to
So,
be clear, so for sleepover series, dinner is included. For non-sleepover series, dinner is not included. So you will have to pay for anything that you receive out of a non-sleepover series.
yeah, people were getting confused of that with like, whether it's a sleepover series or non-sleepover series, but sleepover series is only Friday and Saturday night. Okay. So when you're booking now, I know people because they're open President's Day week, there's some adjoining days that, and I'm not sure how people are booking that. I'm not sure if they're booking all those days through sleepover and then getting confused or, if they have to book two different ones, like if they're joining like, Saturday and they want to stay into Sunday. I'm not sure how that's going, but Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, this whole week, President's Day week, those are going to be the offerings. And then Friday and Saturday is the last weekend of Ninjago this month. So that's going to go back to the buffet, and that's all listed on the menu options through the hotel website. So um, that was a lot, Brian. We are going up onto 50 minutes now of I think I covered our full comprehensive review, check-in, theme rooms, experience, hotel activities, exclusive park access. I think we went over everything. I think we did a good job of our personal opinions. Those are our personal opinions, um, and everything like that. We want anything else you want to say, Brian?
No, I think that's it.
Right?
We're looking really forward to 2.0 season. So, it's
Yep.
around the corner, April 8th. Very exciting.
That's it. That's all I want to say. Okay. Other than that, we got a whole bunch of videos coming up, Brian. We got to start making them. We'll
Yep.
put them up as soon as we can. We got one on construction and updates and some exciting news about some stuff going on. Like I said, food and beverage stuff is coming out. They're releasing information on what they're going to be offering, which is super exciting. All right. So we are super excited on some of the new stuff coming out for sure. Right, Brian? Including the water playground.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's some
Yep.
concept art that we're going to go over, some of the construction paths. We will discuss that and talk over and everything like that. We are just super excited. And that is the best deal that you guys can get. So Head over, book, have an awesome time, and have a fantastic day. That is it from Brian Cook,
Take care and goodbye from Brian Olson.
and we are the Brick Street Bryans.